All right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, and welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. It is Focus Friday. Hopefully, you guys have had a wonderful week and you are ready to sum it up, to tap it off, to wrap up the week and start to plan for a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, a little rest and relaxation is in order. I have four. It's four of the fam five. As you guys know, one of our sisters, Denise, is in Grenada. She's in Grenada and she is getting things done. She is affecting change as the gig economist, and we are so proud of her. She was going to try to be with us this morning, but she's in transit, so we're going to wish her well, and we'll get started, and she'll be with us next week. Good morning, Sonia. We see you there. Sonia said, "Good morning, Fam Five." All right, so I've got my brother in transit there, the dadpreneur doing what he does, getting the little one to school, but he is still with us nonetheless because we do what we need to do to get done what needs to be done. And so, Brian, we appreciate you. Drive safely, get that little angel tucked into school, and then we'll be ready for you when you're in a good place to speak. And then we have the storytelling strategist with us, Mr. Jay Pasqua, and soul speaker is outside as usual, giving us a little of the a little natural background there. Are you outside, Eric? I think I see sky, right? Can you hear me, Eric? Yep, there you go. I see sky, I see trees. You are definitely outside. So the soul speaker is with us as well. And our topic for today is focus. Focus is a tool that can be your secret sauce to having the life that you desire. When you focus, that means you are keying in on an activity, a task, a something that is important for you to accomplish. And when you're saying yes to that thing, you're saying no in the moment to everything else. And you are single focused and providing your undivided attention to accomplishing the task at hand. And we all know when we really key in, when we really focus on something, that is when we do a better job. We're more aware, we're more thorough, and we dig in and we get it done. So let me share our quote for the day. I think I can do that. There it is. So people think focus means saying yes to the things you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the hundreds of other good ideas that there are. Pick or choose carefully. And that's from Steve Jobs. Somebody who created beyond what was imaginable. Because of his work, we're able to do a lot of the things that we do today in the way that we do them. So a good person when you're talking about personal development, when you're talking about business development, when you're talking about how to get things done, he's a good person to listen to. And he said it's not so much about saying yes to what you have to focus on, but it's really about saying no to everything else. That's when the true focus comes in because distractions are going to come, they're going to happen. People will vie for your time. There'll be new, shiny, exciting things that are going to pop up. At any point in time, we could be doing multiple things. And we've basically been taught that that's a skill, multitasking. But the truth of the matter is, if we can step back and learn to single task and to really focus on the task at hand, we'll do a much better job with it, and we'll be more effective and we'll be more efficient. We'll get it done faster. So focus is the topic of the day. It's one that I hope that in a world where we celebrate doing lots of things all at once, I hope you can understand where we're coming from and see how it's time to rethink this whole multitasking thing and to get more to a single threaded mindset so that you can really pour all of your energy into what you're doing at any point in time. And in doing so, do it a lot better. So, with that, we're going to go with to you first. Eric, did you want to go first? I don't think Eric can hear me. He may have lost his connectivity outside. So, Jay, let me pitch it to you and take the quote. I can guess what you're going to bring to the conversation in addition to the quote. So, go ahead and do your thing and share with us what your thoughts are around focus.
Thank you, Cassandra.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome.
So this morning, I always start with scripture, right? Um, One of the things that I think about when we're talking about focus is while we're focusing on the goal ahead, sometimes we need to lean on others, and that's important. The other thing is leaning on your faith. And so I'm going to read Philippians chapter 4, verse 13.
One
I
of
can
my
do all
favorites.
this.
One of my favorites. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, that's okay. That's all right. And it's okay to have something that's your favorite, especially a Bible verse. Um,
Yes.
and it's simply said, it's said differently in different versions, but this one says, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. I can do everything through him who gives me strength. That's Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. And so, you know, for a lot of us who have the faith in the Bible and in Christ Jesus, we lean on our faith, right?
Yeah.
Others, we also lean on our people. We lean on our family, our friends, our cohorts, our partners, and for me, I do both.
Hmm.
I do both. Actually, there are three things I do. If it's to lean on anything, it's my faith, my DNA, and my family and friends. And it's a good thing I have both in the Fam Five because they help me as well. And I talked about it yesterday, and it's the same thing I'm going to talk about today. It's accountability. There's a little bit of that in thankfulness and gratitude, but also today in focus. I mentioned having an office at one time where the wall itself was glass, and my team could see into my office, and they could see on the board all the things I I had as far as goals, as far as what was accomplished, what needed to be accomplished. And so there was definitely that accountability when the team would look in and see what I was doing or not doing. And I think the not doing part is also important because they can say, "Hey, Jay, well, I see that stuff on the board there. When is that ever going to get done? Because I need that bonus." And so, absolutely, it comes into play all the time. So focus can help with other people holding you accountable as well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the accountability rests with you. So you could lean all you want on your people, but if you don't hold yourself accountable, right, and stay focused, you're going to lose sight of that goal, right? So I think that's important. Always lean on others to hold you accountable, but also if it's adversity or struggle or anything that's maybe out of your control, right? Things that get in the way of focusing, then remember Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. Back to you, Cassandra.
Love it, love it, love it. And the other thing, well, as you were saying that, I thought about how I use that verse in my life and how I taught my kids to use it as well. I talked about that verse not too long ago because my niece ran track and she was a sprinter for a very long time. And then as she got older and went into the upper grades of high school, they were putting her. I think if the 400 is still considered a sprint, but it's a much longer sprint than the, the 100 or the 2. And so she had to build up some additional endurance to be able to run that far at full speed, basically. And so that was the scripture that I gave her. And I was like, girl, just in your mind, every step, just keep saying to yourself, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, just over and over again until you cross that finish line. And so in addition to it being a scripture and in addition to it being instructional in how we can move through adversity, how we can face challenges, how we can just live our lives in general, it's an affirmation and it's confirmation. It's confirmation that we're not in this alone. We've got support that we just plug into when we're smart enough to do so. And it's an affirmation that the race is already won for us. We just have to keep going, realizing that struggles are going to come. There'll be, sometimes we're at the top of the mountain and we see the beautiful view. Sometimes we're in the valley and our strength is being built and our faith is being strengthened as we have to dig our way out of that situation to get back to that beautiful view. So wherever you happen to be, whatever season that you happen to be in, a mountaintop or a valley season, something good is going on in that season. Either you've got to a point to where I think about mountaintop moments as, kind of an award. I'm being rewarded for some hard work. I'm getting a chance to look around and see all the beauty. I've accomplished something. I've hit a milestone. I'm standing on top of the mountain. I don't necessarily see those valley moments as necessarily negative. In those moments, I'm learning, I'm growing, my strength is being built up because I've got to use muscles that I may not even remember I have to get from that valley back to the top of that mountain. So my focus is different depending on where I am, but I'm required to focus nonetheless in order to keep moving forward. And so I wanted to take a moment and recognize a couple more folks that I see have come in. Plantain, welcome, welcome, welcome. Made us international this morning, guys. He's coming from, I think that says Zambia. I probably look funny to you guys, and the camera may be shifting quite a bit. I was having trouble with my microphone on my laptop, and so I'm actually awkwardly holding my phone right now. It's in a cage, but I didn't have it all set up, so I could not be more uncomfortable than I feel like the Statue of Liberty just holding up holding up that lantern. What I'm doing right now so that we can keep going. But not only am I focused, I'm determined. There's a time and a place for me and the Fam Five to show up and have these conversations with you guys. And so we're here. So technical challenges, I work around them. Difficulties in life, I work around them. Maybe, Brian is dropping his daughter off at school right now. So he's off camera. He'll be back as soon as he gets her tucked in. We work around them. Jay has been ill all week, but yet he sits. Every morning I'm surprised when he's here because I know he's trying to recover. He's pushing through and working around it. We talked quite a bit about Eric's yesterday and him grieving the loss of his grandmother. Yet there he stands, continuing to ground, working through the pain of the loss, learning the new connection that he has with her, and continuing to put one foot in front of the other and work around the challenges of life. We're never going to sit here and say it's always going to be easy. You're always going to be on the mountaintop. But what we say is focus on what you have. Focus on what's going well. And in doing so, it allows you to see more of that. It allows you to get creative and look at the solution more than you look at the problem and move through your storm instead of getting stuck in your storm. And that's the message every single day. It's coming from different perspectives. Yesterday we talked about gratitude. Today we're talking about focus, but the underlying message is always the same. You have more power than you realize if you will connect with your inner voice, critic, and do the work to transform it into an advocate so that you are your own best friend. You are your own cheerleader. You are your own advocate. If you can focus on you and what's going on inside of your head, how you feel about you, what you think about yourself, what do you deserve? what are you capable of? If negative things start popping up when you look in the mirror, that just means there's some work to do there. There's an opportunity to grow and to expand and to see yourself differently. And when you do that work, you'll see everything else differently as well. And so that's what we're talking about today. Focus. I want to welcome, in addition to Plantain, my sister from another Mr. Yvette Ortega. Love you, girl. We have done our entire adult lives together. She was my first college roommate, and actually ended up uh, finding out that she went to high school with who is now my husband. So we have literally known each other since we were 18 years old and have done our entire adult lives together. You know, we're in each other's everything. And so I appreciate you, girl. I'm glad that you're here. I see the emojis, and the only one you forgot was the big old heart because there's if before there's anything, there's love between us. Beatrice, happy Friday from PA. And she said, yes, focus is a superpower. I love you too. And so, yes, it is definitely, definitely, definitely a superpower. All right. So, Eric, I see you there and the beautiful sky. Looks like it might be a little dreary where you are, but when we are it's been raining here a lot. And I'm so grateful because we need that rain. We were joking when we were out at my husband's doctor's appointment yesterday. The lady was saying, man, we need this rain, but just not right now. And that's kind of where we are. It's like we want stuff, but we want it when it's convenient for us. Excuse me, God, could you let us get home and be safe and sound and dry and then give the earth the rain that it needs? That's what life would be like if we were completely in the driver's seat. But we absolutely need the rain. And so we've been enjoying it and sleeping well as it was falling last night. So tell us what's going on with you this morning, Eric, and what would you like to share with us on Focus?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good morning, all. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, B. I know you're driving Bree off to work, off to school. Trying to mute a little bit with some of these cars, these big cars. I'm on the road today versus in the backyard, and so the traffic can be a little much. But focus, we will stay focused. So what I wanted to share on focus is what Brian or what B just stated or Jay just stated on the DNA part. And that's having faith and loving yourself, right? Understanding what you've been through, taking a moment to understand the journey it's took for you to be in the moment in the place that you are right now. And so taking that moment to understand that you've gotten here, look at the strengths, the what it took to get here, and then look forward, understand that utilize the same skills. You're going to, in your journey, meet folks that are going to be able to help you in spaces where you may need, and you're going to continue to move forward, right? So just having that faith and understanding that your journey is on purpose, and that it's not over, right? If you woke up this morning, your journey is not over. And so you can still make a way in the way that you choose. And so continuing to have that faith in your DNA, who you are, you have everything that you need to get where you're going. Uh, Finding that tribe. We talked about accountability. That's a huge part of success. So finding that tribe and then moving forward in the direction you're going. Not every day is going to be full of successes, but failure is part of your success. So just staying focused and keep moving forward in the direction you're going. So that's what I got to share this morning. So happy to be here with you Friday on the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Jay, you looking good, sir. Brian, wish I could have you on camera. But I know, like I said, that you are in transit taking Bree to school. So the Dadpreneur is in effect, and we are supporting you. And we'll go back to you, Cassandra. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. The dadpreneur is dadpreneuring, right?
Right, right, right. Absolutely. And we support him. We
Absolutely,
support him.
absolutely, absolutely. And
And Jay, those ads have been incredible. I just wanted to publicly state that it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better, Jay. So we appreciate you.
absolutely, absolutely. You guys may have noticed that's kind of the look and feel of the background and the logos and everything is evolving over time. What it used to be, it is not anymore. We've been playing with this, trying to find the right look. Those guys coined the Cassandra Terry morning show while I was out sick, and it kind of stuck. And so we're revamping the look and the feel, and Jay is a huge part of that. We played with the background and stuff, and he took what I did and elevated it. And that's what he's so good at that. He can start from scratch, but if you've got something, he can take it and elevate it to the next level. So I'm loving how things are looking. And Jay, even though he was sick, he worked on this yesterday. So it looks different today than even it did yesterday. So the evolution continues. And that's the beauty of collaboration. That's the wonder of focus. Deirdre said it's a superpower. When you're focused in on something, when you're working with a team that's all moving in the same direction, you may have different ways of getting there, different ideas on it, but when you can come together, merge those ideas into a plan and actually implement and work together, that's focus on steroids. We're focused times 5 now. What I could do as one person is so much better as 5. There's more people that we're reaching because each one of them had their own audience. I have a support system. You guys are hearing different voices and additional perspectives, so I'm sure it's a better experience for you as well. You don't have just me as a talking head every day from 30 to 60 minutes, but you've got the collaboration of the 5 bringing in their different perspectives, even the different backgrounds. I'm sitting in my office and you're seeing some wallpaper that I searched high and low for because it had a little bling in it, and I love my bling. We see the outside when every time with Eric as he's grounding. We don't know if we're going to get Brian in studio. We're going to get him in the car. We're going to get him outside doing some work for his uncles because we're all doing different things. And Jay, the consummate professional who's actually been in this space before, that's Mr. I've got my headset, I have my green screen, I'm displaying a beautiful background because this is what I've been trying to do. The rest of y'all figured some stuff out. Y'all learning, but this is literally what I was trained to do. So different perspectives, even in what you see when you look over our shoulders, because we've all arrived from different places, but we're all getting better together and leaning on each other's strengths and building up each other's areas that could use improvement. And the sum is so much better than the equal of its parts. So we are excited to continue to come to you guys. As the Fam Five, you're gonna see more of us on different time slots. This is gonna become something that's streamed, something that becomes more uh, TV like. We're gonna keep pushing this, and you all are a part of the evolution, and you're also a part of the encouragement because you continue to show up because we have your focus 4 days a week. You guys show up and you focus and you drop your comments and you support us. You're giving us the courage to keep taking that next step. And so you are just as much a part of the journey as we are. And we would be remiss if we didn't recognize and thank you for that. There's some of you that just don't miss a day. Or if you do have to miss, we wonder where you are because you're so consistently here. And so when you start to build a group of folks who support you. It gives you the courage, it gives you the strength, it opens up your ideas, and things will evolve. So, you all are very much a part of this evolution. Brian, are you someplace where you can speak now?
I am walking.
Awesome, awesome,
We
awesome.
got caught by the train today. Long journey. We had to go all around the city to get past the train. It was a long train, and then it stopped, and then we had to stop off and get some get the glasses, and we just had a whole thing going. But and I think this speaks to the point of being focused. We are now here. We did not let the distractions stop us, even if we're a little behind. We did not feel rushed or pressured, so we didn't have an accident. We didn't get a ticket. We didn't do any of the things that could have happened when you start to rush and you lose focus. I really like that quote by Steve Jobs, where he said, "It's not about doing the one thing that you want to do. It's about not doing all of the other things that you could do. Doing all of those other things makes you lose focus, and that's something we don't do. We stay focused. We had a job to do this morning. and we're a little behind. It's raining, but guess what? We made it here. That's my sidekick, right? We made it here. We made it here in one piece, and that's what's important. So if I had to say one thing about being focused, is that this little girl helps me stay focused. We made it
Good
here.
morning, Bree.
We are going in now. I'm gonna go off video. I'm gonna go on mute going into the school, and I'll come back on in a few moments.
Sounds good. Take your time. All right. So the one thing that I got out of what he was saying, and y'all, when we say dadpreneur, we're serious about that thing. He walks that walk, lives that every single day. We can be in the middle of anything, and if Bree shows up and she needs her dad's attention, that's exactly what she's going to get. And he created a room called the Dadpreneur Behind the Briefcase. And it's a room where the men come together and they talk about that experience. They talk about putting family first and normalizing that, where it's not about just saying, "Hey, I'm bringing home the paycheck, so I'm taking care of my family." There's layers to your family. There's emotional support, there's your presence, there's your showing up for the things that they have going on. And he's modeling that every single day and having conversations with men about how that is what it is to be a dadpreneur, to be a parent and to be in business, be it for yourself or, be it a career, whatever it is that you're doing, he's modeling putting family first. And I think it is a wonderful model. And I see the more and more men showing up and being vulnerable and talking about their experiences, what they did with their older kids versus how they are showing up now with the younger ones. And he's walking the walk. He is focused on that message and on that mission. And that's what focus will do for you when you're serious and committed to what it is that you're doing. It shows. He doesn't have to ever say the word dadpreneur because we say it all the time. It's hard to look at him and not see that, not think that, because we see it in action. And we all have a message, and we want to take that message and embody it and show up with that message in how we walk through our lives, and then your message will start to precede you. No one people are So many people know Bree's name, just because of how her dad shows up, and because of how he incorporates, let me say that differently because I almost said it backwards. He incorporates us and all the other things that he's doing into his life as a husband and a father, right? He doesn't incorporate them into his life. He incorporates us into theirs because it's family first. And when you embody your message, it becomes such a part of who you are and how you are that other people speak your message before you even have to say a word. And that's what happens. That's what happens. I want people to look at me and go, mindset. You know what? I was thinking negatively about myself. I shouldn't do that. I need to figure out what that's all about. I need to reframe that. I need to tap into myself and support myself. The voice within wins. What I say, how I say it, what I feel, those things matter. And if I get that together, all this other stuff that I've been worried about is going to fall into place. I'm going to handle it all better. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. I'll say it until you guys won't listen anymore because I'm that committed to that message. You have so much more power than you realize. You are so much more important than you give yourself credit for. And I'm here to remind you that you're the answer to someone else's prayer. And in order for you to stand in the fullness of the answer, you've got to like yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to support yourself. And then you find yourself in these situations where you can support others, where you can be loving to others, and your message will get there before you do. It will go farther than you can go. I hear people all the time talking about the voice within wins. People that I've never met, but they've heard it on the show, they've seen it written, and people are carrying that message forward and they know what it means. It sounds good, it rhymes. We like things that rhyme. Makes it easy for us to remember. The voice within wins. But the message behind it is where the real power is. And when people understand and believe that what they think about themselves and how they think about themselves is of value, it matters, it shapes how they show up in the rest of their world, when they, and they're willing to do the work and tackle those negative messages and reframe them, become their own best cheerleader. If one person does that, I've lived a pretty good life. I'm happy with that. And the one person that did it first was me. I had to work through my stuff so I could show up like this. Because me not being confident, me not feeling good about myself, me not feeling worthy, did not have a message for anyone. I had to learn that message for myself first. So tap in. What's your message? Your life is a message that will live on beyond you. What's your message? What's your legacy? What are you leaving behind besides the physical stuff? It's in there. Every one of us has it. Tap into yours and then share it with the world and watch how much more enjoyable your life is in the process. So, Brian, I know you got cut off and we're almost wrapping up. So, let me let you have the final words if you're in a position to talk now, and then we'll go ahead and shut it down because we got to get you to your other room.
Awesome. Yeah, I had to get my noozle. That's the bed part of the morning. I had to get my noozle in, and now I'm back in the car. I'm getting ready. Back in the truck. I'm getting ready to go get me some coffee. Start the day. Get this morning room out of the way, and start to plan out the weekend. How we're gonna move. How we're gonna plan for the rest of the week. Next week. That's, to me, that's focus. Focus is planning. Focus is having an objective, right? Without that objective,
Definite objective, right?
a definite objective. You got to have a definite objective in mind and stick to it. I use the acronym DO, right? So what is your do? That do, that's the thing that you have to do. The thing that you see as being, what's the word people use all the time? Non-negotiable. People throw these terms around and they use them, and I really don't like getting caught up in them. But that particular one, I think it fits having a definite objective. But because for me, it's a non-negotiable. I have to know what I'm gonna do, and I have to know how I plan to get it done, and the vehicles that I'm gonna use to get me there, the resources that my creator is giving me to make sure I accomplish the task that he set before me. Because that definite objective, you have to discover it. It's nothing that you come up with. It's something that's given to you, in my experience, by my creator. So he gave me that definite objective, and now that I've accepted it, now that I've discovered it, I can move forward with confidence in anything that I do. I'm able to have focus because of my faith. And I want to echo what Jay said about being faithful, and that how that ties into your focus. If you're a believer in the one true creator, the all powerful, then you know that nothing comes from you and everything comes through him. That is how I go about everything that I do. That's how I go about my life. That's how I go about work. That's how I go about managing my family, because everything's not going to go the way you want it to go. You got to be honest. But when you have a definite objective in mind, you are able to kind of swat those flies. I said flot those flies. Swat those flies that come your way, right? You're able to get those distractions out of your way. You can just move them to the side and you keep moving. I said it the other day. When you know where you're going, it's as if the world moves to the side to let you by. But you have to know what that definite objective is in order to know what you need to do to get there. And that faith, for me, that's how I stay focused, because I believe that there's a higher purpose for me. There's a higher power that's guiding me, and I just have to believe in what that higher power is telling me to do.
Thank you, Mr. Content Dadpreneur. Nailed it as always. Beatrice, we've got your, I don't know if you can see the screen, but we've got your quote there, your comment showing the voice within wins with some exclamation points. My favorite, my favorite. I'm guilty of being an exclamation point abuser. Thanks, Cassandra Terry. You are very welcome. Thank you. I see you, Beatrice. I see you all the time. You are solid, you're supportive, you engage and drop the supportive messages that help us keep going, and we appreciate your consistent support, and it is definitely felt. So Jay, I think we're at the end. I've got to get Brian over to his next call, so we're going to wrap this one up, but I'm happy to allow you any final words. If there's something that's still lingering that has not been said, now would be the time, sir.
So, if people don't know, I talk about surviving a tornado. Um, I'm a tornado survivor. I'm not a victim, I'm a victor.
Mhm.
And it was through focusing on two things. And I'll say that in a minute. It's something that came to me following that disaster, that traumatic experience. And I told myself, this is what I said: by your faith and your DNA, you got this. So, by your faith and your DNA, whatever you got going on today, tomorrow, for the rest of your life, by your faith and your DNA, you got this.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And it's amazing how those valley moments is where sometimes our deepest beliefs are not only challenged but developed. By your faith in DNA, you got this wasn't something that you said prior to the tornado. And now not only is it something that you say, but it's how you live and it's what you share with others to encourage them. The voice within wins was one of those, I call them divine downloads. That was one of those times where I was nice and quiet and just thinking, and it came to me in the middle of my writing and working, and it stuck. I've never stopped saying it since. It's a part of how I live my life. And I believe with everything in me that we all have those moments, we all have those things, and it's a part of our gifting and what we share. And so I just want to encourage you guys to focus on the messages that you are saying to yourself about yourself, and focus on your gifting to find what prayers you are uniquely designed to answer for the world. And with that, we are going to end this edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. I know it's wobbly and funny looking. We'll be back hopefully to regular technology on Tuesday. But in the meantime, we are here and we are focused and we are supporting you and sending love and light to each and every one of you. We will be back on Tuesday morning, 7:15 a.m. for Transformation Tuesday. So for now, the Fam 5 is signing off and wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful weekend. See you guys back here on Tuesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.